I welcome you to this short interview about what we are doing together. I'm so happy that I met you in Italy on our journey and that that the universe brought us together in this alignment way because you are a woman or a person for me in my life I was searching for, not consciously but unconsciously. And there were several points coming up in the last 2 years in my, conscious realms where I figured out, okay, there is something wants me to get connected to a voice instructor, for example, but I don't want to be a singer or become one. I just want to have fun and express myself in a way which is really authentic for my being. And that is the gift, the big gift for me to be with you and to figure out what is coming here to us. And now we just decided during being that we make a course to share it with our communities. Okay. So I'm so happy to be with you and I love you, Carol. Let's say that at the
Ah,
beginning.
the feeling is mutual, Jennifer. I am so thrilled and happy that, Spirit Universe has brought us together in this just divine, connected, unexpected way. And you are such a light and such a love. And I just adore your energy. And I'm thrilled to be working together with you. Really, really. So
Thank
yes, so let's talk about what it means to use your voice and express yourself authentically, from your whole being, right? From a place of consciousness and awareness and authenticity and artistically, right? A lot of people want to learn to sing and maybe they don't want to be professionals, right? They're not trying to like be superstars or, the next idol. Yeah, but just to use the voice as a way to there's so many wonderful things that we can do with the voice. But to really connect with our own voices therapeutically and for balance and just to really know who we are and to be able to express ourselves and our thoughts and our feelings from a place of real, true, deep connection to our self, our true self, our inner being, and not just be, puppets kind of repeating what we think people want to hear, right? So the whole confidence piece around the voice is really important and a challenge for many people because so many people have suffered some kind of trauma, let's say, right? Trauma being a spectrum, trauma being that spectrum of like, these little things that happen to us that maybe go unnoticed by others, all the way to the other end of the spectrum of, the worst kinds of things that happen to humans, but and everything in between. And the body processes that trauma, no matter where it is on the spectrum, as tension and holding on to energy rather than allowing it to flow. So most people, most humans on this planet, because maybe a very small percentage of humans on this planet have been raised by conscious, enlightened parents, coaches, teachers, grandparents, etc., the adults in our lives, right? Where all the generations are passing down and projecting their wounds onto the next generation until finally someone becomes conscious in that line and heals the wounds, not only their own wounds, but the generational wounds, And instead of passing them down onto the next generation, they become aware of who they're being and how they're being in relationship, and then can express authentically in loving, compassionate, connected ways. So kind of going back to, well, we've all been wounded in one way or another around our expression, whether we've been criticized or shamed or silenced or censored or embarrassed or guilted, or so many things that happen to us, even with well-meaning adults in our lives. It doesn't mean that they've been, intentionally malicious. Unfortunately, some adults are, of course, but hopefully we've been raised with well-meaning adults in our lives, but still, it happens, right? And even with our peers, not just the adults, but our peers, kids shame and embarrass each other in the schoolyard or in the classroom. So things happen. A parent ignores you, a teacher criticizes you, a schoolmate embarrasses you, things like this, right? It's happened to all of us. And so learning how to, or healing those wounds from a deeper place within is really important, as well as developing this physical vocal instrument, right? So, yeah. So to be able to express ourselves artistically and authentically with confidence, that's my goal as a voice instructor and coach and healer, soul awakener, voice alchemist.
The
Yeah.
bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. To help people in that way. It's very important. And I always, my feeling is from my own journey is I've learned that our deepest wounds, when we consciously heal them, can become our greatest gifts.
Absolutely.
And this is absolutely the case for me. Just my own personal story around, being the youngest in my family, and, growing up in a big, boisterous, very expressive, 100% Italian family. Beautiful, passionate people. Um, but being the youngest of five children, right, I didn't always have that space for my voice to be heard and respected and honored, really. And so this was something I've had to work through in my life. And so it brings me great joy to share what has become my passion through music and healing myself, to bring that to others who may be experiencing similar challenges in their lives around their voices.
Yeah, in the past month and years, I figured out the magic behind using the voice. For example, using vowels for balancing the chakras. It's one part, for example, in my online course, Sacred Evolution Now. And it's so great to feel how the body is able, when I get my attention to it, to sense what is going on when I use a tone, a deep ooh or a deep A or E, to get and feel the vibration in my body, to get it in, to bring it in, to bring the awareness inside and what is unfolding by itself, without thinking, without any methodology, without nothing to do, just by itself. And that's so magical. And that's the reason why I'm so happy with my experience with you and me in this great vocal alchemy room, because, I figured already out as well that when we focus on let's say on a picture, a postcard maybe, And when we just slip over it and put it away bin in a second, we can't get really deep into it. But the
Mhm.
way you teach and we together go into the muscle sections, the resonant bodies all over the body, and getting knowledge and practicing it, it's like zooming into a new cosmos for me.
Nice.
And I'm so excited. And I just can't
And I
hide
just
it.
can't ride it.
So let's talk about, you just described the benefits, yeah? But is there something to add? Is there more, or can you just shorten down the benefits for people to join our meetings? It,
Oh my gosh, where do I begin? There's so many
fun.
benefits.
Let's say fun. First of all, fun.
First of all, fun. Listen, my motto in all of my bands has been, I've had many band projects over the years. I'm a performing vocalist and have been for many years. And in all of my band projects, the motto, the bottom line is if it ain't fun, we ain't doing it.
That's
If
the
it's
way it
not
goes.
fun, yeah, music and the voice, it has to be fun for sure. And especially because it's so connected to our emotions. The way we feel affects the way the voice muscles operate, function. Yeah. We can't separate the physical body from the emotional body, from the mental body, from the spiritual body. We are a holistic being, right? And so, yes, absolutely having fun. This is why we want to, this is why we want to sing. This is why we love music, because it makes us feel something and it makes our audience feel something, or maybe not singing, but speaking with that authenticity and that power and that confidence, that authentic power, right? And that confidence, and really coming from your wholeness, in your fullness. Yeah. And that affects people on a deep level. And, speaking of fun and laughter, the shaman, the second shaman, we were together for a ceremony with a shaman a few weeks ago here in Italy, where I am now. But I also had an experience with another shaman doing a ceremony, and a question was asked of him: "What is the path to enlightenment?" And he answered with one word. Do you want to take a guess at what it was based on our conversation?
Pardon?
You want to take a guess at what it was based on our conversation? Path, what is the path to enlightenment? And he said one thing. I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell me. I have always the word breathe, 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 but
Yeah, some people would think love, breathing, healing or something. He said laughter.
well, great. What a great shaman.
Such a great shaman. And he really exemplified it. He told jokes and he was laughing so much. It was beautiful. And I could really feel that energy, that love and that light from him. He was so joyous. And so it's like laughter is like the difference between effervescent water and flat natural water, right? It's it's got those little bubbles. It's like it brings an effervescence to our energy, to our auric fields, right? Our energy body. And people feel that. So, yes. So fun, laughter, joy, definitely big benefit and big intention with voice work. Um, and let's see. So, most people have not really paid attention to their voice instrument. I call it an instrument because that's what it is. It's it's like a piano or a horn or a drum or a guitar or,
And let me
yeah,
say something, Carol, because
yeah.
it's so crazy. Yeah, that was the reason why I talked at the beginning that I don't want to be a professional singer. That's not my goal, but it's so crazy because all of us are so rejected or restricted with using our voice authentically.
Yeah.
And what are we doing all of the day? We are not telepathic connected. Most of us are not. We
Mm-hmm.
are, but they don't recognize it anymore. So we are talking all the day somehow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And and why not? It is so necessary for me to get an awareness, to become more aware of what's going on when I use my instrument voice, not only body going into the fitness gym, etc., voice. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
because what is necessary for us as social beings to feel others, to feel secure, safe, etc., and feel ourselves. More and
Yes.
more, even when we speak about awakening, there is no way around. It is a direct way into the body and through the body. It's like, embodied, being embodied whole beings. And the voice is one part of it, isn't it?
Ah, it's a huge part of it.
Yeah,
Our voice is so unique to us. It is our mode of expressing, sharing with the world, with others, what's going on in here,
yeah,
in here, in here, in here, all of it, right? How else do we express? We do express through writing and we do express through movement, but the voice is the ultimate mode of expressing and sharing who we are with the world. And no one can take that away from us. They'd have to do something really extreme to take that away from us, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
And it is so yes, I just lost my word. What I it is so necessary, I think, to or a good way because we can even see it in our usage of our voices, how traumatized we are. And
yeah.
the way to, as an add-on for me, to use the voice and to recognize what's going on through this channel into my body, feeling, hearing, expressing, speaking my truths, etc. What a great gift. So, if you on the other side of this meeting room as the audience want to be with us and explore these yeah, so unknown, usually so unknown rooms with us together with the lovely Carol and me, then please join us and get your experience. And maybe you can just, at the end of this short speech or interview, you can just share with us, Carol, where are we going through? What I can say from my point of view, we just had great instructions about all the muscle areas and how it's connected together and how it's necessary or why it's necessary to go on and train different parts of our resonant body. And we had some exercises, etc., etc. What else? Where are we going? What, give us a little picture of the rabbit hole.
Okay. Okay. So, well, I want to respond a couple of things to that last conversation out before, but our voices have a very specific imprint, right? A sound signature that is unique to us. And so that's part of how we are perceived in the world. People don't really realize that they're gaining perceptions of who we are as people, and we are gaining perceptions of others when we hear the voice. It has a very specific imprint, sound signature imprint, and a signature tone. And so this is kind of a deep conversation into tones and vibrations. But just to bring that awareness, right, that our voices elicit perceptions from others, and vice versa. We gain perceptions of others from when we hear the voice, right? Do you ever see somebody and you look at them and you haven't heard them speak or say anything? And then all of a sudden they open you had one impression of them based on how they look physically. And then they open their mouth and you go, oh, wow. Like, I did not expect that, right? Like somehow it doesn't match what your perception was of that person. And now you've got an entirely different perception of this person,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that happens to us. So anyway, I wanted to mention that. And I also wanted to mention that um, our voice instrument is very unique because it is a part of us. It is a part of this vehicle, right? It's not it's not a keyboard. It's not a guitar. It's not a horn or drums that we can touch and see and feel and tweak and use tools and to adjust. Or if we don't like it, we can get rid of it and get a new one, you know? This is the one voice that we have. And we have to really take good care of it. And that means taking good care of us, our physical bodies, our emotions, our mental condition, and our spiritual connection. And because it is a part of us, people tend to move more toward criticizing their instrument, this instrument, rather than just accepting it and really taking good care of it, right? So a lot of people I'll say, oh, I don't like my voice, I don't like the way I sound. First of all, with the way we perceive the sound of our voices is not the same way that others perceive our voices. There's other environmental factors going on that do things to the sound before it reaches someone else's ear. But we perceive our own sound actually through our bones. And so it's much denser and it's all internal and inside. So the way we hear ourselves is very different from the way others hear ourselves. So sometimes we hear recordings of ourselves and we're like, what was that? That was me. I don't, and for that reason and for many other reasons, people have criticisms around their own voices. So this is an opportunity in this course to really own the power and beauty of your voice, right? To really embrace it and to get to know it, to really understand it, bring a much deeper awareness to your voice, like it's your favorite blanket. Or if you're a musician, sometimes guitarists have 10 guitars and they're like, but that's my favorite one, because it has a specific quality or sound. And so we want to really love our voices and love on our whole bodies, right? As the expression of who we really are. So yes, this is an opportunity in this course to not only condition your physical instrument of the voice and really get to know all the parts, the muscles and the air and the vibrations and what's happening on a physical level, but also energetically What are we noticing? What are we feeling? What happens inside of us when we use our voice? Our voices are our most powerful sound healing tool, our own voices. We can have other sound therapists or sound healers create sounds for us, whether they use instruments or their voices. And that is beautiful and it's very helpful and therapeutic for sure. I do that work myself for people and it's very profound. But when I work with individuals, I encourage them to use their own voice for that sound therapy because that we're generating that sound from within the body and the cells are intricately connected to it. So it's just so much more profound and more powerful to use our own voices. So being able to use our voices artistically, whether we want to be a singer and sing beautiful songs or chants or mantras or whatever it might be, or just to use our voices therapeutically to for balancing and grounding and connecting and meditating and all the things that it's helpful for there as well. So, did I answer your last question?
Yay. And it's so great, Carol, because you're embodying everybody here in this room or coming and entering our course. And both of us are having as well, not only this frequency stuff and awareness, yeah, we also have the ecstatic feeling inside ourselves and our bodies, and we are open to share it. I guess you as well as mine, to share it with everybody because when such beings like you and me are in one room, in one content together, and others are joining, the room is so big already, and everybody who wants to enter in her or himself is allowed to. It's like the doors to heaven are open, you just have to step in.
I love it. I love it. I love the way you express yourself. You really do so beautifully, Jennifer. Yes, you're a wonderful example of an empowered voice and the
Oh,
fact that you're bringing it, to the people through this wonderful channel of yours, this platform of yours is really a special thing. So thank you for exemplifying an empowered voice. I will do my best to teach you something new, but
thank you so much. Oh, okay.
yeah, sure thing.
Yeah,
Were there
then,
any other questions?
not at the moment. Is there anything you want to add on, or otherwise I would say just join?
Yes, join us in this journey. We're gonna move through. I think your question was, what does it look like down the road? So first we're gonna work through some foundational voice muscles because the voice is just air that's controlled by muscles. So when we have control over the muscles and the muscles are conditioned, if they're not weak, but they're strong, and if they're not holding too much tension, but they're able to relax, and we have that control over those muscles, then we can affect the air that eventually becomes the voice. And we can shape those sounds the way that we want our voice to sound. So if you're one of those people, you don't like your voice, well, then join us. Come learn how to love your voice and how to play your instrument, learn what the keys on the keyboard do and learn what the strings on the guitar do. But we're going to do that with the voice. What are these muscles? What do they do? How can I condition them and use them in a way that helps me to produce the sounds that I really want to produce? So that's the first thing that we'll do. And we're going to weave that in with more of a holistic experience as well. So not just the physical actions of these muscles, but also the sensations that are produced by working with these particular parts of the voice instrument. And beyond that, there's many things to learn about the voice. It's a very intricate instrument. There's so many parts to it and so many aspects to it that we could go in a lot of different directions, with just toning and experiencing energetically through the chakras, using tones through the chakras and the energy body. We can talk about different dynamics of the voice, like using runs and vibrato and the different, how to work through use the voice with the different resonances. There's different resonance spaces. There's registers, there's chest register, mixed register, head falsetto. There's so many things to learn about the voice. We can take it in a lot of different directions. So, we'll see where we go. But let's lay the foundation first with these voice muscles, and then we'll take it from there. How does that sound?
Great, great. And I would add on at the end now, the great stuff is to get rid of the judging mind somehow. The voice is a great instrument for me as well, because we just need to get in the situation to remind us when we heard it ourselves or something hurted our body. We just make sound to let it go, to get the energy, to let it flow, yeah, and to let it heal, let's say, somehow. And even when we cry, yeah, there is sound, and it is not, what is the word in English? It's not just happening, it has a reason, because it helps the balance in the body to align itself back again, because there was a hint or something that disbalanced it. And so we can, when you talk about toning and so on, I was getting pictures. We can use our voice even when we have triggers in our normal life, and then we can use the voice to let it flow and go. We don't want
Yes.
to get rid of stuff. We want to, in the essence, we want to let it move by itself. That's healing and integrated.
Yes, yes,
So
yes. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Yes, we do instinctively use our voices especially when we feel something. We feel anger or sadness or joy or whatever it is, right? Sound naturally comes up and out of us. Yes. So connecting to those instincts and trusting the intuition of the body and the sounds that it produces. Intuitive toning is such a beautiful practice. And yes, addressing that inner critic, that part of us that has, sustained wounds, a wound, which we discussed earlier, and that may be stuck or frozen in that time when that trauma happened and still holds on to what I call a false belief about who you are now as an adult, right? Because that child or that young person got frozen in time when that criticism or shame or embarrassment or fear or something happened, and they forgot that you're now a full-blown adult and you can actually handle these kinds of things that happen in your life. And so we want to meet those parts of ourselves that are carrying those wounds and really just love on them and accept them and embrace them and unburden them from those extreme thoughts and feelings that they've been holding on to for so long. and really step in as our true self, our highest self, our adult self, our mature self, the all wise knowing being part of us that lives inside of us, every single one of us, always was, always is, always has been. It's always there. And it's sometimes, oftentimes, in many people, has kind of faded into the background, and other voices within us have taken over. So we can certainly explore, and I love this aspect of really owning the power of the voice through doing this deep work with the parts of ourselves that have kind of taken over the story and are speaking and behaving and responding from that wounded place rather than allowing that all wise knowing part of us to be the one that's in charge and to allow those wounded parts to just relax inside of us so that they're not stopping us from using our authentic voice in a beautiful artistic way.
And at the
Yeah.
end, our voice is a good instrument or instructor to get out the critic really quick. That's inside and to work
Absolutely.
on it. Yeah, you know, and with fun,
Absolutely.
sorry, and with fun. Yeah, so that there is, it's like a river flowing through the landscape with you and me in this experience journey.
Yes, yes, yes. We're gonna try to, soothe that inner critic because we all have it to some degree for sure. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, stepping into the power of the authentic voice is a beautiful journey. And I'm so excited to take that journey with you, Jennifer, and with all of our participants and viewers. It's going to be awesome and it's going to be fun.
Yes,
How can
thank
it?
you.
Yeah, how can it not be fun with you?
Yeah, and you and all the others. Great,
Yeah.
Karen, thank you so far. Um, I think is everything said, and I'm happy to go on further with you in this journey to the authentic voice and healing ourselves with our own voices. Great. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you as well, Jennifer. I look forward to our journey.
Yes. And everybody who was watching this to the end, go down and press a button and enter and join and what do everything you can to come to us. Ciao. Bye bye.